Everyone, in the next lecture on Fourier series especially, we have discussed the Fourier series concepts in different videos, but this session is mainly for practicing the problems based on the Fourier series. In university examination, there are some problems where you need to find out a Fourier series, as well as using the particular Fourier series, we need to compute the value of some infinite series. For example, there may be a question, find the value of 1 upon 1 square plus 1 upon 2 square plus 1 upon 3 square plus and so on using the Fourier series expansions. Okay, so we are going to see one problem where we have to find out a Fourier series expansion, and then we have to compute the infinite series which is expected in the given problem. Let's do this. Okay, let's come to the problem. Obtain the Fourier series expansion of f of x is equal to pi minus x divided by 2 bracket square in the interval 0 less than or equal to x less than or equals to 2 pi, and f of x plus 2 pi is equal to f of x. Okay, hence deduce that, see, I am discussing about some calculating some infinite series. So here they ask you to deduce, that means you have to prove that. What is to be proved? The pi square upon 12, the value of this is 1 upon 1 square minus 1 upon 2 square plus 1 upon 3 square minus 1 upon 4 square plus and so on, like this. Okay, so one thing is we have to show that the value of this is equal to this infinite series. And the second question in the same is prove that pi raised to 4 by 90 is equal to 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus and so on, like this. Is it okay? Now, first of all, we have to calculate the Fourier series expansion, and once I get the Fourier series expansion, using it, we would like to derive these two. Is it okay? Fine. Now, what is the function given here? The function is f of x is equal to pi minus x divided by 2 bracket square, and the interval is 0 less than or equal to x less than or equals to 2 pi. So if we compare this interval with our given general interval, that is c plus 12, in other words c less than or equal to x, c less than x less than c plus 12, this way. So this is your lower limit of the interval, or say left end of the interval, and this is the right end of the interval, that is 2 pi. So coming to this, if I compare these two, the value of c is 0 and c plus 12 is 2 pi. Therefore, the value of L is equal to pi. As we discussed in the previous lectures, the generalized Fourier series expansion can be reduced to f of x is equal to a naught plus summation n runs from 1 to infinity cos n pi x upon L, but here the value of L is pi, so hence we get only cos nx, plus summation n runs from 1 to infinity bn sin nx. Okay, now what is a naught? The formula for a naught is 1 upon 2L integration from c to c plus 2L. So instead of L, we are going to substitute pi, hence we get 1 upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi f of x dx. Now what is f of x here? Throughout the interval, the value of f of x will remain same, that is pi minus x upon 2 bracket square dx. Now the question comes, how to derive this integral? So one way is either you simplify this a minus b bracket square and then you go for an integration term by term, or you treat this entire term as a x. So integration of x square is x cube upon 3, is it? But the x is pi minus x upon 2. Are you sure with this? So this is how one can simplify the terms. Okay, so I just take this 1 by 2 outside, but while taking this 1 by 2 outside, there is a square. So we have 1 by 4, and I'll take 1 by 4 outside. We get 1 upon 8 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi minus x bracket square dx. So this is equals to, I'm directly coming to this. This is not a naught equal to this integral. So 1 upon 8 pi. Now what is the integration? What is the integration of x square? It is x cube upon 3. I'm specifically writing here capital X. Here capital X is nothing but pi minus x. So we have pi minus x bracket cube divided by 3. Okay. At the same time, the term capital X is nothing but pi minus x. Hence, we need to divide this particular numerator by the derivative of pi minus x. The derivative of pi minus x is minus 1. Limits from 0 to 2 pi. Is it okay? I hope this idea is clear. So hence this is equals to, one can take this minus 3 outside. So we have minus 1 upon 24 pi minus x bracket cube, limits from 0 to 2 pi. So this is equals to minus 1 upon 24 pi into bracket. Here the upper limit is 2 pi. If I substitute it here, we have pi minus 2 pi, that is minus pi bracket cube. Minus. We substitute the lower limit, we have pi cube. Pi minus 0, hence we have pi cube there. Okay. Now this minus pi cube and this minus pi cube. Okay, I'll need to simplify this again. So this is minus 1 upon 24 pi into bracket. So this is minus pi cube is minus pi cube, and this minus pi cube. So that becomes minus 2 pi cube. So this minus sign and this minus sign becomes plus. So 2 pi cube upon 24 pi. 12 2s are 24. So this is 1 upon 12. Pi cube upon pi becomes pi square. So one can say the answer of A naught is pi square upon 12. A naught is equal to pi square upon 12. This is what we derived right now. Okay. Now we have to work out the AN. Now what is the formula for AN? AN is equal to 1 upon L integration from c to c plus 2L f of x into cos n pi x upon L. Is it? But the here value of L is pi. So hence we have AN is equal to 1 upon pi integration from 0 to 2 pi f of x into cos nx dx. Now what is the value of f of x here? 1 upon pi outside, integration from 0 to 2 pi minus x upon 2 bracket square into cos nx dx. So we can have 1 by 2 square outside of the integral sign as it is a constant. We have 1 upon 4 pi outside, integration from 0 to 2 pi minus x bracket square into cos nx dx. Now this is a algebraic term and this is a trigonometric term. So therefore this is u into v rule we have to apply, that is integration by parts. We will follow the integration by parts, which is a general rule. General rule we are going to apply here. While applying the general rule, u will be a term whose derivative vanishes earlier. Here pi minus x bracket square will be my u, because pi minus x square, the first order derivative is 2 times pi minus x into derivative of pi minus x is minus 1. Further its derivative is minus 2 as it is. Derivative of pi minus x is minus 1, hence the derivative will be 2. Are you clear with this? Okay. Hence for this is first order derivative, this is second order derivative, therefore the third order derivative term will be 0. Therefore this term equals to 1 upon 4 pi as it is inside of the bracket. See, I'm just going to explain a way so that you can get an integral in a simplest way. Integration uv formula I have already explained in the previous lecture. Integration uv is u v1 minus u dash v2 plus u double dash v3 and so on. Is it alternate plus minus term? If you just have a look, in the first term u as it is, in the second term the derivative of u, in the third term the derivative of u dash, that is u double dash, and so on. This process of u dash, u double dash is continued unless we get a vanished term, that is a 0. So here in the first term the u as it is, therefore pi minus x bracket square. In the second term there is a minus sign. Derivative of pi minus x square is 2 times pi minus x into derivative of pi minus x is minus 1. And in the third term the derivative is 2 times as it is, derivative of pi minus x is minus 1 and this minus 1 is continued. So u dash and u double dash. If I go for the further term, the derivative is going to be a 0, so there is no need to write it. Now v. What is the integration of, see, the first term is v1. v1 is nothing but integration of v. What is integration of cos nx? Integration of cos nx is sin nx upon n. Next term is v2. v2 means what? The entire term v1 is integrated further. Hence this n as it is, integration of sin nx is minus cos nx divided by n. And in the third term, we have v3, which is nothing but the entire term v2 is further integrated. Hence n into n will comes there. Okay, n into n will be there, and integration of minus cos nx is minus sin nx divided by n. Okay, limits from 0 to 2 pi. So this is 1 upon 4 pi into bracket pi minus x bracket square into sin nx divided by n. This n into n square, minus minus become minus 2 times pi minus x into cos nx divided by n square, minus 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 become minus 2 times sin nx divided by n cube. Limit from 0 to 2 pi. Now just have a look here. The upper limit is 2 pi. If I directly substitute the upper limit here, in the first term I will get sin 2n pi. As discussed in the previous video, the value of sin 2n pi is 0. Hence, for upper limit, my first term is going to be a 0. Okay, let's come to the middle term. Minus 2 times 2 into pi minus 2 pi as it is, cos 2n pi. What is the value of cos 2n pi? It is 1. So this term will survive. Now come for the next term. We substitute the 0 there. Hence we have 2 times sin 0. Sin 0 is 0. Sorry. The upper limit is 2 pi. We are going to substitute 2 pi here. We get sin 2n pi. Sin 2n pi is 0. Hence entire term is going to be a 0. Minus lower limit. When we substitute the lower limit here, we get sin 0, entire term is going to be a 0, minus 2 times pi minus x cos 0 divided by n square. Again this is going to be a 0. Simplify this. 1 upon 4 pi into bracket pi minus 2 pi gives us minus pi. Minus pi and minus become minus 2 and minus pi becomes 2 pi. The value of cos 2n pi is 1. So 2 pi upon n square we get. This minus and minus become plus. In the place of x we have substituted the 0. Therefore we have 2 pi again. Cos 0 is 1 divided by n square. So 2 pi plus 2 pi becomes 4 pi upon 4 pi into n square we get. Is it? So this is equals to 1 upon n square. So the value of an is 1 upon n square. Is this okay? Now, we are going to derive next value, that is Bn. What is the formula for Bn? Yes, can anyone tells me? Yes, correct. Bn is equal to 1 upon L integration from c to c plus 2L f of x into sine n pi x upon L dx. But here the value of L is pi. Hence we have 1 upon pi integration from 0 to 2 pi f of x into sine nx dx. Is it? Now substitute the value of f of x here. What is the value of f of x? It is pi minus x upon 2 bracket square into sine nx dx. Again same, one can have 1 by 4 outside of the integral sign, so we have 1 upon 4 pi. Now whatever the remain is pi minus x bracket square into sine nx. Is it? So like as a previous, we will follow the u into v rule, but here u is pi minus x square and v is sine nx. So first pi minus x square, in the next term we have the derivative, that is 2 times pi minus x into minus 1, and in the next term plus 2 times minus 1 into minus 1. Now this is my v, whose integration is minus cos nx divided by n. The further the entire term will be integrated, hence minus sign is continued. Integration of cos is a sine divided by this n is continued, and while taking an integration of cos we get one more n in the denominator. N into n as it is, this minus sign is as it is, one more minus sign, integration of sign is minus cos, hence therefore this minus sign is added, cos nx divided by n. Okay, so this is 1 upon 4 pi minus x bracket square, this minus sign is given over here, into cos nx divided by n, minus this minus and minus become minus, 2 times pi minus x into sine nx divided by n square, this minus 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 becomes plus 2 times cos nx divided by n cube. Now substitute the upper limit as well as the lower limit. While substituting the upper limit, there is a upper limit 2 pi, hence minus sign as it is. Pi minus 2 pi gives us minus pi bracket square into cos 2n pi divided by n. We substitute 2 pi here, we get sin 2n pi, which is 0, plus cos 2n pi, so 2 times cos 2n pi upon n cube. This is for upper limit, minus for lower limit. We substitute the 0 here, so hence pi square into cos 0 upon n. The second term again 0 because sin 0 is 0, plus 2 times cos 0 divided by n cube. Okay, next. So 1 upon 4 pi into bracket. So this is minus pi square is pi square. So this is minus pi square. Cos 2n pi is 1. Therefore we have only n in the denominator. Plus. Again same, cos 2n pi is 1. Therefore this is 2 upon n cube. Now this minus and minus become plus. Cos 0 is 1. Hence we have pi square upon n in the denominator. This minus and minus become plus. Okay. Next, this minus and this plus becomes minus. Cos 0 is 1. So hence we have 2 upon n cube. See, this minus, this is plus, this is plus, this is minus. Get cancelled. Hence my answer is 0. Therefore Bn is equal to 0. Now what is the Fourier series expansion? F of x is equal to a naught plus summation an cos nx plus summation bn sin nx. Here f of x is pi minus x upon 2 bracket square. What is the value of a naught? It is pi square upon 12 plus summation n runs from 1 to infinity. What is the value of an? 1 upon n square into cos nx. And what is bn? Bn is 0. If n equals to 1 to infinity, when it is b1, it is 0, b2, 0, b3, 0. That means all the terms having the bn, that means the second term is going to be a 0. Hence, my Fourier series is only this. Okay. Now, I'll just see what is given in the question. I need to find out these two series. Is it? That is a deduction of this particular problem. Hence, what I do, I'll just go on simplify this Fourier series by replacing n 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay. Yes, this is up to infinity. I'll just write only few terms. Say instead of that, I'll write few initial terms. Okay, which gives us a clear cut idea. Pi minus x upon 2 bracket square is equal to pi square upon 12 plus n is equal to 1. Hence we have 1 upon 1 square into cos x plus 1 upon 2 square into cos 2x plus 1 upon 3 square into cos 3x plus and so on. Okay, now see, this is the first deduction which I am expecting here. This is my first deduction. Just have a look on this series and this one. Here's Ramaga. Okay. See, on the left side I require the pi square upon 12. That means this. So ultimately this has to be a 0. That is number 1. And the second is, on the right hand side, whatever the series is present, having the denominator 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, which is already there, but their signs are plus minus like this. Is it? How to manage? Alternate plus minus. When this is possible, alternate plus minus. See, our term is cos nx. If I replace x by pi, we have cos n pi. The value of cos n pi is minus 1 raised to n. So when n is 1, there is a minus 1. When n becomes 2, this becomes plus 1. When n becomes 3, this becomes minus 1. When n becomes 4, this becomes plus 1. When n becomes 5, this becomes minus 1. That means I am getting alternate plus minus for n 1, 2, 3 like this. Is it? So our substitution is now fixed. The substitution is put n is equal to pi on, not n, x is equal to pi on both sides. So here I am having pi minus pi upon 2 bracket square is equal to pi square upon 12 plus 1 upon 1 square into cos pi plus 1 upon 2 square into cos 2 pi plus 1 upon 3 square into cos 3 pi. Okay, I'll write one more term, 1 upon 4 square into cos 4 pi plus and so on. So this is 0. I'll shift this term to the left, which becomes minus pi square upon 12. So 1 upon 1 square. What is the value of cos pi? Minus 1. So this is minus plus cos 2 pi. What is the value of cos 2 pi? Plus 1. So 1 upon 2 square plus 1 upon 3 square into cos 3 pi. But what is the value of cos 3 pi? It is minus 1. Hence it is minus. Next is 1 upon 4 square. Cos 4 pi. What is the value of cos 4 pi? Plus 1. Like this. But in my given problem, here the 1 upon 2 square, 1 upon 4 square having the negative sign. And here 1 upon 2 square, 1 upon 4 square having the plus sign. See, there is a minus sign to the left side. So we need to adjust it. So taking the minus to the right hand side, we have pi square upon 12 is equal to 1 upon 1 square minus 1 upon 2 square plus 1 upon 3 square minus 1 upon 4 square plus and so on. Hence, I am getting the first deduction. Now think of the second deduction. What is the difference between them? Here square term and here raised to 4. Here again square term, here again raised to 4. But basically, I am getting these square terms only because of an. So unless I get a square of an, I couldn't work out this value. Is it correct? And squaring of n is possible only in Parseval's identity. So to get a second deduction, we will follow the Parseval's identity. Now the question comes, what is Parseval's identity? It's very simple to write. The Parseval's identity for the interval 0 to 2 pi is given by 1 upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi f of x bracket square dx is equal to a naught square plus 1 by 2 summation an square plus bn square. So this is called Parseval's identity. So whenever you have to work out a deduction where you need either a naught square, an square or bn square, you will follow the Parseval's. So in this means this our second deduction. Why we require the Parseval's identity? Because there we required 1 upon 1 raised to 4, 1 upon 2 raised to 4, 1 upon 3 raised to 4, and this is possible if we square the an, because in this problem the value of an is 1 upon n square. So when I square on both sides, we have 1 upon n raised to 4 to the right hand side. Okay, so here we need to first work out the left hand side. So what is the value of left hand side? 1 upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi f of x square dx is equal to 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi limit pi minus x upon 2 bracket square, and again it's square because f of x square is expected. Our f of x is pi minus x upon 2 bracket square. So square square we get. So square square, that is raised to 4. Hence 1 upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi pi minus x upon 2 raised to 4 dx. So what is the integration of capital X raised to 4? That is x raised to 5 by 5 into derivative of x. Okay, so this is 1 upon 2 pi 1 upon 2 raised to 4, that is that means I am taking that 1 upon 2 raised to 4 outside, that is 16, and 16 2s are 32, 0 to 2 pi. So 1 upon 32 pi into pi minus x raised to 5 divided by 5 into derivative of pi minus x, that is minus 1, limits from 0 to 2 pi. Is it? Now substitute the limits there. So when I substitute minus 2 pi there, we have pi minus 2 pi becomes minus pi raised to 5 so minus pi raised to 5 divided by minus 1. This is what we get. And for lower limit it is 0, I think. So this is pi minus 0 raised to 5 divided by minus 1. This way we get. So this is 1 upon 32 pi into 1 by 5. This is minus and minus, okay, minus pi raised to 5. Hence we have minus pi raised to 5, and this minus become plus pi raised to 5. This minus become plus pi raised to 5. So this is 2 pi raised to 5 divided by 32 pi into 5. So 16 5s are 80. So we have pi raised to 4 by 80. 1 pi from denominator, 1 pi from numerator get cancelled. Okay. So now we substitute this value in the Parseval's left hand side. 1 upon 2 pi integration from 0 to 2 pi f of x square dx is equal to a naught square plus summation an square, n runs from 1 to infinity, plus bn square. Left hand side value is pi raised to 4 by 80. A naught square, that is pi square upon 12 bracket square. Summation n runs from 1 to infinity. N square is 1 upon n square and bn is already 0, so no need to write it again. Is it? So this is pi square upon 12 bracket square, that becomes pi raised to 4 upon 12 square, that is 1 by 44. So we have pi raised to 4 by 80 minus pi raised to 4 by 144. Okay, so there is one. Okay, sorry, I missed a one term outside of this. 1 by 2 into bracket. So sorry, not bracket, I'll just write a summation there. N runs from 1 to infinity, 1 upon n raised to 4. Okay. Now we can take this 1 by 2 to the right hand side. We'll keep pi raised to 4 outside. 2 times 1 upon 80 minus 1 upon 144 is equal to. Now whatever remain here, I'll just simplify it. 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus and so on. Now what is the value of this? 1 upon 80 minus 1 upon 44. Yes, what will be the LCM? That is 720, no? 144 5 so yes, 720. So cross multiplying, here we need to multiply it by say 5 and here I need to multiply it by 9. So hence this is pi raised to 4 to 9 minus 5 divided by 720. The right hand side will be as it is. So 9 minus 5 is? Yes, 4. 4 divided by 720. So 4 divided by 720 is I think 180. So this is pi raised to 4 into 2 divided by 180. The right hand side is continued and this gives me the expected, that is pi raised to 4 divided by 90 is equal to, so this right hand side I'll continue here, 1 upon 1 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 2 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 3 raised to 4 plus 1 upon 4 raised to 4 plus and so on like this. So this right hand side is continued till this. Okay, so this is a very interesting problem. In most of the university examination, it is found that there is a question always for find a Fourier series expansion and deduce the expected series using the Fourier series expansion of the given function. So you have to follow either a substituting a value like as a first deduction, or you have to follow the Parseval's identity like as this second deduction. Okay, thank you.